Good morning, guys. How are you? It's Ashantin here. And I have been extending my house, as you can see behind, but I think I've got it wrong. I think that in trying to get a difference in level, which I like, I've managed to actually go down too far, if you look behind me, on the right-hand section, where I'm going to put an enchanting table. And it's quite interesting, when you do build, you really have to stand back and look at it and say, does this look good? Well, yes, it does. But I just have a feeling it looks as if it's sort of sinking into the lake. It looks too low here. I think, as you know, many of you know, I'm from England, and we are a country where you're never more than 2 hours from the sea. Areas I live in, we have constant problems with massive amounts of rain, flooding, multiple rivers and streams. I mean, we are a very verdant country. So when you see something like this, instead of thinking, oh, that's lovely, it goes straight down to the lake, you tend to think, oh, that's going to flood and it's going to be damp. And it sort of takes away from the feel of the build for you. So I think it's something that I'm just not feeling it's quite right. Also in here, I mean, I love the idea of coming down here. I have, as I said I was going to, taken out this centre section. So I've moved the oven and crafting table, and that I think is going to look great. But again, this line here, when you're looking from here, it's just too low. One higher would be better. So I decided, let's just take up the crafting table too. And of course this, I've got lights underneath. It's not going to matter. But it's all stuff that you think, well, yeah, I could leave it. But one of the things that, as I've become more experienced at building, is not to ever worry about taking something down and rebuilding it. I think that when you first start out in Minecraft, you are always somewhat wary of taking a build down, and you think, oh yeah, it looks okay and it's almost what I wanted. But I think in a case like this, you look at it and you ask yourself, why don't I think that is absolutely perfect? And the answer is normally because it's not. So unless you really are 100% happy with it, one thing I've learned is take it down. And frankly, if I do it and I feel I like the other way better, so be it. It's Minecraft. And the brilliant thing about it is did I cover up that torch? Did I lose that torch? I don't want to lose torches. You just feel, well, it's what you make of it. It's anything you want to make of it. Now let's just have a look at these levels. If we put this here and see how whoops. I didn't actually need to take all this out. I could have left one line of glass in retrospect. Oh, thank goodness for these things. Ah, still got a line that I'd forgotten the upper bit. I'm catching this. MJ used to spend most of his time underwater in his builds. Let's just go and have a look at that. Is that level going to be better? Infinitely. Yes, that actually looks right. So I'm going to rebuild that at the right level. And then it will look absolutely gorgeous when I've finished, I hope. It's not guaranteed. It will look a jolly sight better than it does at the moment. It just doesn't look quite right. So take it down, start again, and make it look right. That's what I say. And then I'll have my enchanting table here. So some things work, like this, I think has actually made this room look a lot better and less claustrophobic. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is that down here, I want to have a look at this. Dorg is looking at our tunnels, and he said that maybe we ought to put a piston door on the end here. I think, Dorg said he thinks these pillars are too far forwards. I think you're right, Dorg. I think they should go back, because I think that the view with the 4 wide is much, much better. And I think that putting these things back, if we try it, excuse me for the tea, I'm very conscious of my teas at the moment, and he doesn't like this. He wants another colour, which I think I'll think about, but my own view is that we should take it back like this. That's it. Did I pick up a... I didn't. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to give the right look. Otherwise it is going to be, I think you're right, Dorg, it is going to be claustrophobic. And I think it's going to look a lot better if we set these back. Yeah, and then we'll get that nice view to the end. And at the moment you can see that mine is blocking it. And he likes this sandstone look with the grey. I'm not sure I do. I'm never very keen on this sort of... When I was a child, my mother was very fond of yellow and grey together, and I always thought it looked hideous. That's better. That's much better. And then when you look down from here, you can see that you get... Oh, look at the night view. That's looking gorgeous, Dorg. Really is. Yes, and then you look straight down the tunnel. And I think having that view to the end of the tunnel looks absolutely fantastic. And we might put something spectacular at the end. Let's go and quickly sleep, and we can make this day. Yeah. I'm on here with Lobo and Papa David. So I don't think either, I think I'm the only one who likes to work in daylight. Everybody else seems to be either underground or happy fighting the mobs off at night. But we have a lot. Ashantin brought you daylight, oh, I say. Oh, Papa David's having much too much fun with this command stuff. Now, let's just have a look at this. We're going to take out that, and in fact if I put the floor down, that will make life a lot better. Gosh, did you feel the lag then? We had so much lag yesterday, it was really quite astonishing. And I'm going to put grey underneath as the sort of finishing touch. One more line. That's better, that's easier, isn't it? And then we can just put the windows back in here. I've already got one. 1, 2. Just have to be a bit careful. Let's look at that again. That is definitely going to be better. That's definitely going to be better. Now I think, one thing I did want to say down here, I'll go and get my, I think I parked some of my stuff down here because I was working on the tunnel. When I tunneled out the tunnel, I put a load of stuff, cobble in here and things like that. And Dorg, I was going to say to you, do not hesitate. If you need cobble, that chest is full of cobble. So let's, help yourself to that if you want any. And in fact, seeing as I've raided your chest, don't hesitate to raid mine. I've taken so much building material from Dorg, it's just unbelievable. So let's get these little things right, then we can just see whether this line looks correct again. Here we are, down in the, actually it's more convenient doing this under here. There we are. 1, 2, 3. And then I think that that's going to look a world better. Just getting the lines right. Yes. Yes, that is infinitely better than the drop. It's beginning to look right. And that's what you always want with a build. So let's go back and have another look at this. One more line here. Stand on a trusty, oh gosh, I jump that, I can't. Can I get that up there? I can. Good. I'm going to be down in here. I tell you what, I need a lily pad there, don't I, guys? You, come with me. I don't know how I would build without lily pads. They are things I constantly use to look at things, and in this case to stand on. They just make life so much easier for me. I always seem to be building, yes, that's it. That's definitely it. Yes, that looks a cohesive whole. And it doesn't look as if this bit is sinking into the mire. We have the most wonderful cathedral in England in a place called Winchester, and it is one of the most beautiful Norman cathedrals you will ever see. But it was built on a swamp, and over the years the whole cathedral sank into the swamp. Yeah, it has to go out here. And a diver spent 20 years of his life under the cathedral in the pitch black with just a diver's lamp, and he shored up the whole cathedral and made it work for basically the rest of eternity. We hope that it probably might sink again. And he did it not with normal diving equipment, but you remember the old-fashioned stuff where they have a sort of leather suit and this huge brass dome on their head that weighs a ton, and that's how he did it. And there is actually a statue to the diver in Winchester Cathedral. And when I stood back and I looked at this build, I thought, you know what, this does not look good to me. It doesn't look firm on its foundations. It doesn't look as if it's going to stand the test of time. And of course it will, but I don't know. You always like to build something that instinctively you feel is okay and not just slightly off, or where you have doubts about it. Good, and this is all looking a lot better. Where's our little table? Now the next thing I'm going to need is bookcases. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that is, oh, what a lovely view. Look at that, you're in here, you're enchanting, seeing the backside of llamas. Yeah, this is a nice view. Actually, we need to do something nice with this area, don't we? Because this area is really coming along and being pretty. What's that black thing over there? Oh, it's half a fence post I've left for no apparent reason. But this area, it needs work, guys, doesn't it? And the llamas need work too. They need to have pretty little coats on. Let's have some wool. Let's have wool somewhere. Where would I put wool? In here. Let's take some wool. I'm not using fences at the moment. You can go in there. Okay. And let's put our stuff back in here. because we're not using yew at the moment. I use a lot of sandstone in this build. And let's see, what colours have we got on these llamas? Yellow, obviously. I wonder what the maroon one is. I wonder if that's the grey. Well, we clearly need, well, let's see what colours we've got. We have green, that will be nice. We have cyan, that will be nice. So let's dye some wool. I have to dye it one by one, don't I? So if oh gosh, that means I need something when I've got two, because I'm going to have to dye two wool to get one thing. Right, well, one of you is going to be red. Faffing around, dyeing wool. Is there any nicer way than to spend a rainy morning? At least I'm hoping it's going to be a rainy morning. We are so short of water here. Odd thing to say, but we are. Ah, it makes 3. Look. New recipes unlocked. Hurrah. Right, let's go and dye a llama. No, we don't cause its death. Can I dye them when they're not tamed? I wonder. Or do I have to tame them first? This is the moment of truth. I have 2 that are uncoloured. So, come on guys, can I? I can't, can I? Oh! Yeah, stop growling and hawking at me. Okay, it looks like we're going to have a wheat farm. Because to dye llamas, you need wheat. So maybe this little area is going to be a terraced wheat farm. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would look lovely, and I could terrace it down to here. Yep, ideas come, don't they, guys? Ideas come. Right, let's go up here into our back garden. We need some sort of fence. I suppose I could put an iron fence there. Do you know, I'm not sure I even know how to make an iron fence. I don't think we don't have iron gates or iron fences, that's why I don't know how to make them. You can have iron doors, but you can't make iron gates. Okay. Oh, guys, I wish my avatar could laugh as much as I do on this. Bye-bye, guys.